In the United States, we've come to believe in the chemical imbalance theory of mental disorders. So we believe that you have some known deficiency with a neurotransmitter, and the drugs fix that, like insulin for diabetes. Now, if you dig into the science, it's pretty easy to find that that's a false story. It was a valid hypothesis that arose out of understanding of how the drugs acted on the brain, and then it was investigated and found out basically not to be so. But why do we believe it? First of all, it's such a neat story. It's such a nice, it fits into an antibiotic story. And we know that antibiotics, the magic bullets that killed bacterial infections, they were such a great medical advance. They changed our society. Kids didn't die from bacterial infections anymore. So we've been primed to believe that with medical research we can find the causes of things and that we can create these magic bullets that fix these problems. So it fit into that larger story of medical progress that we believe in. But the other thing is, it in essence was told to us by the American Psychiatric Association and academic psychiatry. So think about who's telling us that story. It's doctors. Doctors just by themselves have a really sort of a powerful perch in our society as individuals of integrity. Now add in it's doctors at institutions like Harvard, Stanford, Johns Hopkins. There is a societal impulse to believe in magic bullets, okay? And in fact, increasingly that we don't have to put the work that is needed to sort of go through difficult times, that we can just sort of patch things up so fast. So there's certainly a societal impulse to take drugs and to think that that can be a response. No question about that. So that impulse is there waiting to be tapped into for anybody looking to build a market. There was one data that suggests that 20% of Americans now take a psychiatric drug daily, something like that. So quite prevalent. At the very least, that tells you that this response, that the drug-centered response, is not an effective form of care over the long term for whatever stress is arising in your society, because we've been embracing this paradigm of care now for almost 30 years, and we've seen the burden go up and up and up. And if you have an effective medical treatment for a disease, at the very least that burden of disease should hopefully stay stable or even go down. And we're seeing exactly the opposite.